total jaw joint replacement surgery and dealing with having arthritis in my jaw joints, and basically my entire story up to this point. Right now, there's not a lot out there about this specific surgery. It's a total jaw joint replacement surgery using TMJ concepts, which are titanium joints. They're made specifically for the person who is receiving them and for their facial structure, in a company in California. So there's not a lot out there about the surgery, and I know that it's been really hard for me and my family to find things online that can help us and people that we can relate to, and really just finding the information that we need. So I am going to kind of explain my situation and then go through the things that I've been through so far and the things that I'm doing in preparation for my surgery, which is in 2 days. So I found out that I had juvenile arthritis in 5th grade. That was a long time ago, like 6 years ago. And back then it wasn't in my jaw or anything, it was just in my ankle. But eventually, when I was probably in 6th grade, but I found out in 7th grade that it had spread to my jaw joints. It didn't really, I didn't notice it when it had started. I noticed there was some pain, but it wasn't constant enough for me to think about it and bring it up to my parents or anything, because I had arthritis and I knew what that felt like, but it was all the time. And with this, it wasn't all the time. It was very rare for me to feel anything unbearable pain. So I didn't know what was happening, and one day in 7th grade, my mom and I went to the orthodontist, and they took a 3D scan of my face, and he told me that my arthritis had spread to my joints, and it was breaking down and deteriorating them, which was causing my jaw to move back and give me a pretty... Back then it wasn't that noticeable, but it was an overbite. So, from then on, we knew the only solution was a surgery. I was originally going to just have a surgery where they moved my jaw up, but unfortunately it has escalated past that point, so now I am getting the TMJ concept. So, after I found out about it, I was more concerned about how I looked, I guess, because, I guess I don't think it's the best look to have a receded jawline or anything, but I mean, eventually it became painful. The overbite was too much, and I had to stop eating a lot of the foods that are difficult to chew. And yeah, so fast forward to my sophomore year, I was pretty much on pastas only and other soft foods my sophomore year, because everything had gotten so difficult, and it got more painful the further back it moved, but eventually my arthritis just ate the joints completely away. There was nothing left, so I had to go get my wisdom teeth out before the surgery, which is pretty standard. I think everyone has to do that because it's more difficult to go get them taken out after the surgery, I think. But so I went to get my wisdom teeth taken out, and the anesthesia they put me under relaxed my muscles so much that my jaw slid back and blocked my airway. So I stopped breathing, and my doctor had to stop what he was doing. And that's a scary thing, but honestly I think it helped me to become more comfortable with the idea of surgery. I'd say a month, maybe a month later, I went to a hospital instead of just his office, and I got the breathing tubes and everything, so the second attempt was successful, no problems there. I will say that since that, I don't know if that was the cause or not, but since then, things have gotten worse rapidly, very much faster than the first 3 years had taken to get to the point that I was at. I would say by the end of my sophomore year, I felt like a change, you know, like, I think whenever my jaw shifts, and it shifts very frequently now, but whenever it does, I can tell. It usually takes a couple of days. It's not like fast or anything, like you can see it shifting, like it's not crazy, but I can always tell, like I can feel, I don't know, I just feel something and then I know. And I felt that very strongly toward the end of my sophomore year of high school, and I could tell that it was bad because it felt worse very quick, and I could feel a different positioning like I had never felt before, and it was apparently so bad that it went back on my gag reflex, so I was like gagging all the time, which is not very attractive, I'm not gonna lie. And it really affected my instrument in band. I played the clarinet, which is like the most unfriendly instrument for a person with jaw problems, but you know, I like it. So that really affected my performance in band, and I had to actually go up to my teacher and tell him, like, there's something going on here, I don't think I can play as much, and I just want to make sure that that's okay with you, because I know band is like a participation grade mostly, so there was gagging, and then eventually I don't know if this was before or after, but I did get into a pretty serious car accident, and I was totally fine, just it was a scary one. My car was totaled, but I was fine. So I mean, you know, basic car crash thing. But after that, I think after that, my breathing started to get pretty bad. Just as a heads up for all of you people struggling with this, bumper cars like at a fair, that's not good for your jaw. It will hurt you if you jerk around and get hit. Real life bumper cars, that's not good either, so don't do that. It was not my fault though. It was the other person's fault. So after that, my breathing got really bad to the point where I would literally have to gasp to catch my breath, like in the middle of whatever I was doing, and it happened in the most awkward of places, like study hall, just like in class and stuff. It was just terrible. And in the past couple of weeks, it shifted again, and I think it actually shifted to a better spot because I'm breathing better, but still not great. Like I'm not gasping, like I don't gasp too much, but I do gasp a little bit. So just not as much as I did before, and you know, no one understands why I'm doing that, so they just thought I was weird, but I couldn't breathe. So yeah, I was having trouble eating, breathing, I would gag all the time, and honestly, this I don't know if it's irrational or not, but since the whole wisdom tooth thing, I did have, and I think I still have it sometimes, a fear of going to sleep. I was afraid that my jaw would slide back, especially during the times where I could feel that it was shifting. I was just too afraid to relax myself that much. Nothing has happened, it's just a fear that I have, and I also have a theory that I have sleep apnea, but I think that again, I think it shifted because I don't feel the effects, like the side effects that I was noticing as much, and it might just be because I'm in a better headspace now, because My surgery was supposed to happen on November 15th of 2017, and I was desperate. I was so ready, and I was like, everything's getting worse now. I need to get this done. But my doctors had to cancel that date because my dental work was apparently not up to par, and that kind of threw me into a state of depression. I was so devastated. It was terrible. But my mom, after she saw how terrible things were and how devastated I was by that news, she like emailed both my orthodontist and my surgeon and just like begged them, like, please help my daughter. She is in so much pain right now, and she just needs this to be better so she can move on with her life. And since then, they've been amazing for me, and they have done everything in their power to make this happen for me. And I really can't thank them or my parents enough for everything they've done for me over the past few months, because, you know, they're saving my life. So, let's see. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but there is a person online named Shay Smith. She had the surgery about 7 years ago, and she posted videos at different intervals in time before, like right after, and then I think it was up to 6 years after her surgery, just like talking about everything she was going through, and that has been incredibly helpful to us. So if you would like to check her out, you should definitely do that. I will try to leave a link. So the reason that I'm doing this is not only because Shay Smith is the only person that I found out there who went through this surgery, it's because her videos are, well, her surgery happened about 7 years ago now, I think. That's just off the top of my head, but around 7 years ago. And, you know, medical science changes on the daily. It's always evolving and changing. And the thing that I noticed is that her videos and the things my doctors are telling me are kind of really different. I'm hearing a lot of things like by like 8 weeks she was barely ready to start her life again, and my doctors are telling me that by like 6 weeks I should be able to go like into the world, and there's a lot of different things. I don't know how much sorry. I don't know which one to believe. It's just really gonna depend on how it is when I get there. So, but I really want to help other people who are going through this, because it's scary and it is difficult to handle, especially when you feel like you're alone. And there are a lot of Facebook support groups that you can join with people who are just like you and who are dealing with something very similar or exactly the same as what you're dealing with. And I have heard that mine is one of the worst cases, so you don't have to be afraid. There was a lot of time wasting with mine, because I started out with a different surgeon, and he was a really great guy, and he was awesome and very smart. And then he, once I switched surgeries, he basically said, I don't feel comfortable doing that surgery for you. I don't think I could do the best job. And we really appreciated his honesty, because a lot of doctors, I don't think, would do that. But we eventually found my surgeon now, Dr. Qureshi, and he's been really great, and so the process of switching doctors took a long time, and then the dental work to get that started and to get my wisdom teeth out, it took a long time, and it was just, there was so much waiting, and it was so slow, and because of that, I've been waiting for this surgery for a long time. Plus, they had to wait for me to grow more, because when I was in 7th grade, you know, 7th graders are not full-grown adults yet. And, you don't want anything to change between then and, like, your surgery, and then after your surgery. If you're still growing, things could go horribly wrong. Alright, so moving on to things that I am doing before my surgery to prepare for this. Okay. So, the thing about TMJ Concepts is they are made of titanium. And it is very important, if you are getting the surgery, that you go and take a metal allergy test. I don't know if all doctors recommend that, but if they don't, bring it up to them and just say, hey, I heard this online, really cool girl told us that we should take a metal allergy test. Because if you don't take that test and you are allergic to the titanium, you will have a reaction and they will take it out and there's nothing they can do for you. So, because I don't want to ever live like this again, I have cut out a lot of titanium from my life. It happens to be in a lot of different foods. It's in toothpaste. So I have a titanium-free toothpaste. It's the brand is called Tom's. It's in Oreos, like the cream filling. Basically anything that is very bright white. So beware. It's in, I think it's in some ice cream. We get Breyers at my house, so Breyers is safe. That's the only one I can say for sure. But really just, unfortunately, if you want to play it safe, which you should, because if I ever have to get those joints removed, I will lose it. But this is something you're gonna kind of have to follow. You don't have to cut every single thing out. I mean, but you shouldn't overdo it because titanium allergies can be caused by overexposure. So it's very important that you keep that to a minimum if you can, especially because you will be exposed to titanium way more when you have joints that are made of titanium. So before my surgery is in 2 days from now. Before your surgery, it's very important that you follow all of your doctor's requests and stuff, like don't get sick, basic stuff. But my doctors told me that I should start washing my face with this. It's called Hibiclens. Hibiclens, I think, is how you say it. But you can buy it at Walgreens. It comes in these. It's basically just like little pink stuff, and you put it on the places that you're going to have incisions on. So, the incisions for my surgery will be right here and under here. Some doctors do it inside the ear. They're not doing that for me. And a lot of the incisions are inside your mouth, but you know, you don't have to do it on that one. There's another thing that I should mention. They are also putting an incision on my stomach, which I don't have to do the Hibiclens for that, but they're putting an incision on my stomach, and that is because they take some fat out of the stomach to fill in the empty space here, because if they don't fill in the empty space, then it can get infected, and then that's a whole other thing. So, they will be doing that. That's something they actually did not mention to me at first, which I thought was really sketchy. So, if you're getting this and you just heard that for the first time, talk to them, because we heard it from Shay Smith and we asked them about it, thinking there's no way, because they would have told us because we walked through it, and they're like, oh yeah, we're doing that. So, that was terrible. Anyway, let's see. Yes, okay, so because after your surgery you will be on a liquid diet for, I'm thinking, I can't remember what he said, but it's like 2 or 3 weeks of a liquid diet completely, which is gonna be terrible because, but because you're gonna be on a liquid diet for 2 to 3 weeks after your surgery, you're gonna want to bulk up. I know, because I am a junior in high school right now, and I did not want to gain weight because I am a junior in high school. So I wanted to go to homecoming, and I have a boyfriend, and I want to be cute all the time. But it's very important that you put on some weight because you are going to lose a lot. People lose like 20 pounds. And I did not do a very good job of this, but I've gained a little weight, I think. I don't exactly know how much weight, but I mean, I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now, so I look bigger than I am. But so you will want to put on some weight because you're going to lose a lot, especially on your liquid diet, and because you're going to be very limited for a long time even after the liquid diet. So that's very important to make sure that you just stay as healthy as you can. My doctors told me after the surgery, it's basically about whatever calories you can get. So whether that's milkshakes or anything unhealthy, just get those calories in because you need them. So I'm going to quickly go through the stuff that I'm bringing in my hospital bag that I'm taking with me because my doctor said for the longest time they said 3 to 5 nights in the hospital, but now they're saying it might even be 1 night. So I don't really know, but I'm not taking any chances of forgetting stuff. And when you're in the hospital, you want to be prepared to be comfy because you're not going to be very comfy here. So the first thing that I'm bringing is these fuzzy socks. They're grippy on the bottom and inside, which I don't know why they're grippy inside, but they're super fuzzy, super comfy. Also sweatpants, that's pretty basic. What you're gonna want to do is bring a zip-up, multiple zip-up hoodies. Well, maybe like 2, honestly. But zip-up hoodies are good because if I were to wear a sweatshirt like this and try to put it on or take it off over my face, that's gonna be painful. No one wants to deal with that. So get something that you can put on easily, or like a V-neck that you can put on easily over your head. These are all things that I learned from Shea Smith, although they seem like you should already know. And finally, my favorite things in the whole world are these robes. I love robes, they're so comfortable, and I have like the softest ones ever. So I really love these, and I'm going to bring them with me so that I can be comfortable. So that's good. This is my suitcase. I haven't like balanced on it before. So yeah, that seems like I covered most of the stuff that I wanted to talk about today. I will be making update videos. I don't know how close after surgery these will be. I'll try to get my parents to get some videos because if you have watched Shea Smith's videos, you would know you can't really speak very well at all. Okay. You can't talk at all. And you can barely smile. So, but you know, I've been filming for about 25 minutes now. So, yeah, I think you guys have heard enough of me talking. I think that's all I have today for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new that could help you out, and I will be adding more to this little documentary as soon as I can. Alright, thank you, goodbye.